the Akashic Records. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked about them. How do you get information from them? What are they? How is it different from the other forms of spiritual contact? And so I thought instead of telling you, I would show you in this new series I called Akashic Answers. I'll be bringing in other readers and we'll be reading together on important topics, and you can see how the information flows through the readers. Keep in mind, everyone is unique, and so their style might be a little different, but the answers that come from the records are always profound. So I thought this would be a great way to share it with you. And today I'm happy to introduce you to our first reader. Her name is Marianne, and she is an Akashic Record reader, an artist, and just an all-around connected person. So I hope you'll enjoy this series. Please let us know your thoughts below, and let's get going on our first Akashic Answers. So before we started, Marianne and I opened our Akashic Records together, and we'll be using that energy field to get information for answers today. The Akashic Records opening key is a set of intentional sacred protocols, typically the Pathway Prayer by Linda Howe. However, there are others, combined with meditation and a specific intention to access the soul's energetic records. It requires clear, loving intentions, grounding oneself, and is often using a formal invocation to request access from guardians. So welcome, Marianne. So tell me, what do you, when you say Akashic Records, how do you visualize what the Akashic Records are? Share with us what you think that
Well,
encompasses.
I know that everybody reads the records differently, and I see the records. I guess the best way to put it is if your soul was going to go to therapy with a really good therapist,
Yeah.
um, to what the records do, what spirit does through my channeling is it gives me images that starts the story. And then it's like a movie, and it's all metaphor. I rarely, I mean, sometimes I get images that I do remember because they're odd or just interesting. Um, but I feel like it's not up to me to explain the metaphors. So I just tell the story, and it's all about what the sitter's soul needs to hear right now, what they're ready for, or what they're ready to hear. And again, what you do with that information is up to you. A lot of people, it's about uncovering who you are, your true, authentic self, and having compassion and love for the dark and the light and anything that comes out.
So I think that's why in doing these kinds of readings, you get a little different feel, a little different information. It feels big to me. The records feel like those bigger answers to those bigger questions. But today we're gonna.
But it also depends on the question that the person wants to ask too. Some questions aren't big.
Mhm.
Of course, the big questions are the ones that are always the most interesting
Right.
to me. But
Yeah, it always
it,
goes back to something bigger. Like today, we're going to be talking about some things that have been kind of triggering, I think, for a lot of people lately, myself included. And I think that when you stop and look at things that are triggering for a group and for individuals, that it's something that is a good question to ask. And it really goes back to, and Marianne came up with these really good suggestions today about suppression, really. What a suppressed heart is hiding, and what is the truth between, what is the truth beneath the mask that we put on, which is really just suppressing our true selves. And I know a lot of people lately have felt like the media has been suppressed. People here on YouTube, including myself, feel like videos are getting suppressed. So that is something that I think the records are really going to probably have a lot to say about today. So let's ask the records what we can do on an individual level when we are triggered by suppression. What can help get us out of that? And I keep hearing triggering. It's triggering because it feels it may be just one event that happens, but then it brings in all these other past events and amplifies it. So, how do we shift that energy from amplification of a triggering event into something that we can? I think it's important to see it and then
Re-
release it.
Reflect on where it occurs in your own life, where it has occurred in your own life,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't be triggered by it if you hadn't experienced it before.
Yeah. And
That's what's
I'm
locked
seeing,
in the heart. The image I'm automatically getting is going down the basement steps into dark, dusty basement, opening a trunk, and the information's in there. It's in that trunk. Opening it up. The
yeah,
minute it opens up, light comes out of it. That trunk is you. It's me. It's us.
yeah.
It's what we have inside that wants to come out into the light.
And it's interesting because I'm getting up on that. So many individuals that came to the earth plane in this lifetime did so for the reasons just stated to work through the last bit of baggage.
Yep.
The and I'm seeing that this person opens the trunk and they have a mask on, they have goggles on, like they're going to get hit with something. And the only thing that's down in that trunk is just a little tiny broken toy.
Up, we're back to childhood. Absolutely.
And it's funny because they were all masked up and ready to go for this, what they thought was going to be this huge thing they didn't want to look at, and it was just a broken toy. And now it's funny because now they're showing me the little broken toy. It's becoming a kitten, this cute little kitten. And the person picks up the kitten and holds it, and they realize that what was in that trunk was not worth all the fear and
Right.
suppression of what would be all this. Oh, yeah, boy, there's a lot about suppression here. All the suppression of the emotion that came with what was in that trunk, kept it in the trunk, kept it in the dark, kept it in the fear.
I keep thinking about something that Picasso said that I'm paraphrasing, it took his entire life for him to learn to see like a child.
Yeah. So I'm getting, I think we're both getting this combined message maybe about when you're having those quiet moments or when you're, ask your spirit team to come in and help you and say, I'm ready to go in
Yep.
to the basement and open the trunk.
And
Help
pay
me.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
And pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention, be a be a witness to your thinking. When you're thinking something that's depressing because of something you've seen, stand outside yourself and say, this is me. I'm thinking about this and I have a choice. I don't have to. I can go deeper into my heart. Being a witness to your mind, to your intellect. We've done a very good job developing our intellect. Now it's time to develop our heart so they can work together.
Wow, we could do 5 hours on this, Marianne.
I, you know, totally. God,
Yeah.
it's not simple, but it is simple.
Yes.
It's very complex, but it's simple.
I'm seeing someone writing now, and I feel like journaling,
Absolutely.
for example,
Absolutely.
something comes up and you feel like this was manipulation and suppression and it's triggering me. And it reminds me of when I was a little girl and I was told to be seen and not heard, and it felt very invalidating. And even though this isn't happening to me, it feels like it's happening to me, is not happening to me, it's happening to someone else. I have empathy for them. I don't like that it's happening to them, but it's not happening to me. But I now acknowledge that suppression is an energy that no longer serves me, and it should no longer serve the universe. But for me, it no longer serves me. I release it. I wonder what would happen if people started releasing suppression from their own personal space. In other words, it's triggering me. I acknowledge it. It comes from here. I'm releasing it into the universe and I'm asking it. It's funny because I see this dark, icky stuff going up to the universe. And as it hits the black night sky, it becomes sparkles. Release it and turn it into something else. It's now become something released with universal energy to shift. Like a visual, okay, it's a visualization. It's a journaling, bleh, a journey, a journey of the journaling accompanied by a visualization of releasing the dark energy from it and going into light sparkles.
I see joy. I keep seeing an image of a child playing uh jacks with the little ball and those little, and the sun, sitting in the sun and just experiencing pure joy.
Yeah. That's really like the shifting of the narrative. Like I'm seeing those dark clouds, but it's parting. Like I feel this. I'm going to ask about this a little bit. What is this? This is a waning energy. This is a revealing of something that has been prevalent for so many years. This will be called out and released as shown in the vision so that humanity can move forward in a way that is authentic and I'm seeing all these people in a circle and they're all starting to take off their masks because they felt they looked different. And when they take off their masks, everyone's thrilled to see their faces, their real faces. And it's exciting that everyone's face looks a little different. So,
The entire earth is doing shadow work. Countries are doing it. Gaia's doing it, releasing the dark. The only way to release the dark is to see it. The only way to get to the light is through the dark. That's why we're seeing it all so much now.
yeah.
And if we're honest with ourselves, we can see it in ourselves. What part of ourselves? Where are we hiding the dark? Where are we not letting the light in? The triggers are key, I think, because those moments of emotion, when you're triggered, are you looking in a mirror? And that's what the world is doing. That's what countries are doing, whether they like it or not. We're about to enter a phase of human history that hasn't existed before.
So that was really deep and interesting. And I think it leads into this next question of how can those who need to start removing that mask, how can they do it in incremental ways that, you know, I guess baby steps maybe to
I,
start feeling comfortable taking that mask off. I thought that visualization of the people standing around taking their masks off, and they were actually pleasantly surprised that everybody looked a little different. So, did you want to give information on that from the records or give any tips on what you think would be helpful?
I'm a great believer in automatic writing. Um, I a lot of people like, maybe what I do is journaling, but I call it automatic writing. And I usually ask spirit a question. Spirit, I know, being probably my higher self. Sometimes I don't even ask a question. Sometimes I let it come out, whatever comes out. And if you take 3 deep breaths and start writing without thinking, the point is to not think, to just let words come out and not worry about. When I do it, it's like one big run-on sentence. Words will come out that will surprise you when you go back. You'll put it into sentences. There'll be things you don't understand. There'll be things you do understand, and you sit with it, and the question is always answered.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask the records because I feel like there's an external thing too. I don't know why I'm getting that, so I'm going to ask the records about what this external thing is. What is this external thing?
I just got musical bars.
Yeah. And I heard there's a role model. Look for the role model. Okay, so who's the role model? There are many. There are many role models right now who are rejecting that they have to wear a mask. And people will be naturally drawn to these individuals because they embody the topic of the conversation today, which is rejection of suppression. They reject the suppression of who they really are. They reject the suppression of higher, higher, I don't know what the word is that they're trying to say, uh, higher agencies on the planet that will insist on suppression. They radically reject it. This is, and I'm seeing like a little sister looking up to a big sister, and she's in awe of her big sister that's saying no or doing something gutsy. Look for the role models who inspire you. Watch how they do it. And it's funny because I'm seeing this is cute. I'm seeing the little girl copying even like the movements of the older sisters, like, and the little girl's doing the same thing. If it feels more comfortable to actually model a physical stance or a vocal tone or now this the automatic writing with the script, writing the script to say, oh, I appreciate what you're saying, but I really feel this, is a good first step to feeling prepared in that moment where, and now they're showing me that just a little bit of the mask is coming off. This does not have to be done all at once, but it is important to begin. Because what lies beneath the mask is the true beauty of the individual, and that is the point of the journey. Wow, so it's a really big topic, but it's an
Oh, it's
interesting way to start.
huge,
Yeah,
huge topic.
and I think it's really relevant to the times we're in right now, and more. It's funny because I think after we do this show and after people watch it, we're going to start noticing more those people who are acknowledging it and who are calling it out and who are modeling certain.
This isn't an easy journey.
Mm-mm.
You referenced before, what's her name? The movie Katniss.
Oh, Katniss Everdeen, yeah, from
The
from the
thing,
Hunger Games, yeah,
the thing about her is that her strength was not about winning a battle. She wasn't big enough or strong enough to win a battle, but what she had was belief in her convictions and her heart and her compassion. That's where the strength was.
yeah.
She focused on that, and then other energies rally around that. It's infectious, it's contagious.
Oh, I just got to chill with that. That energy will draw people in naturally. The other energy will repel people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's where we're going.
yeah,
And that's why we're asking these questions, because we're on the precipice of shifting our consciousness higher. And it sounds so jerky to say, to say love, but
Yeah, yeah.
it is about that.
Yeah, I think that what I have appreciated today is that we got a little tangible information of things that we can do in addition to this overall general energy, but that automatic writing, that visualization, those things to help prepare us for that change that's coming and participate if we want. So,
I think practice is really important, some kind of practice. Even if it's 3 or 4 times a day, you breathe deeply, or you meditate for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes,
yeah,
or you do automatic writing, or I mean, there's so many ways, but I think we all have to develop a daily practice of some kind that allows our minds to go quiet. It's that Eckhart Tolle, I mean, he knew what he was talking about.
being in the now.
Yeah,
And next, yeah. So, and it doesn't have to be anything super
no,
fancy.
you
Yeah.
don't have to go on top of a mountain and sit in a lotus position for 3 hours. You don't have to
Yeah, I
do
would never
that.
get back up from that.
It could be walking the dog and
Yeah.
feeling the sun on your face or the
Yeah.
rain or whatever. You're in the now when you're there.
All right.
That is meditation. That is practice.
Exactly. So, Marianne, where can people reach you? I know you do Akashic Record readings, right?
Yes, just email me, and I usually send people an explanation of how I work with the records, because for me, they're not about prediction. They're about your soul learning itself,
Hmm.
and make appointments.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here today and taking on the really big topics. How's that for the first time coming on the channel to take on, the light subjects?
I'll tell you, it's yeah, and this is not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, well, you did great, and we'll
Yeah.
close our records after we're done here, and we opened them beforehand, but it really that those Akashic records really give us some gems. So
And we're
thank you.
and we're and the truth is we're all going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. The question is, how much light do we want to let in to
Yeah,
get
do we
to
want to
be
enjoy?
okay?
It's okay to enjoy the journey too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's joy, got to be joy,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I
Thank you for
appreciate
inviting
having
me.
you here, and everybody reach out to Marianne, and we'll see you again soon.